my name is Nadia Mejia. I am 25 years old, living in Los Angeles. I'm a full-time model. I sing. I've done pageants. I mean, gosh, I don't know. The list goes on and on. I'm in the entertainment industry, I guess you could say. And I like to consider myself a model with a message. I don't want to just be a model with no voice, just a measurement. I have a background of struggling with anorexia, and I use my story to inspire young women to love the skin that they're in.
Welcome to the Sarah Scoop channel. Please like and subscribe for more of the scoop.
My mother was Miss West Virginia in 1989. So I think pageant, where we both competed at Miss USA, is such an amazing thing. But like growing up in our living room, she had her crown like sitting on the banister. And I was like, what is that? Like, mom was a real life princess. Like, I want to be one too. So I think that kind of started just like the love for it, I suppose. I didn't start doing pageants until I was about 15. Just because my mom didn't want me to, be toddlers and tiaras. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but, wanted me to make the decision for myself. And I just fell in love with them. Being a model, it really is about the way that you look. And pageantry was so different because a beauty pageant, they have the stigma that it's all about the way that you look. They're kind of airheady, blah, 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 all these negative things. But in reality, like you win over judges with your heart and with your interview. That is like the most high score in a pageant. So it really like developed me into the young woman I was because, at 15, you go, so what do you want to be when you grow up? Like, so what do you want to do? So you were interviewed and it just kind of prepped you for life. And I competed. I won a, couple city pageants, but eventually at 20 years old, I took home the Miss California crown and ended up competing at Miss USA. It was amazing. I honestly cannot complain. Because I started full-time modeling at 17, it kind of like, I never was just a model. I always kind of spoke out more often. And I think pageants just really allowed me to have a voice every time I felt stuck. Like, what am I doing? I feel like God put me on earth, to have more purpose than to just be a face. Pageants always reassured me that no, your voice matters. It always matters. So it was an amazing year. Pageants are cool because it's kind of like what you make it, right? So if you're Miss California, you can just do it for all the glitz and the glams and the photo shoots and the sponsorships, or you can make it a full-time job. And for me, my goal as Miss California was to go and speak to schools from, middle schoolers to high schoolers, young women and men, about body image and social media comparison and not letting comparison steal your joy. And it was such a cool thing because once every 2 weeks I was speaking at a different school, and it was just like the most rewarding job that I could possibly have. It definitely was a defining moment in my life. I've been a full-time model for 10 years. So I started when I had just turned 17. And, at that age, you're still finding yourself. You're still figuring out, like, I was just trying to, figure out what it was like to navigate being a woman. And at that age, I was signed to an agency. I didn't really know what modeling was. I really had no education of what I was about to go into. And I lived in a model's apartment, and I was introduced to a lot of just things that I'd never seen before, just different forms of eating disorders. Now, not every single model has an eating disorder. I'm not putting any single one of them in that box. But what I saw kind of influenced me to go, okay, but these girls, the girl who would eat only hard-boiled eggs, the girl who would smoke a lot of cigarettes and drink wine, and that was her meal. Those things were going, okay, but they're working. They were working every single day. And I was like, and I'm not. And I was like, so whatever they're doing obviously is doing well for them. So maybe that's something that I should consider. And then I started, crazily calorie counting, working out obsessively. And within the first 4 months of my career, I had lost 25 pounds. I'm 5'11". And at that time when I was really unwell, I was like 101, 102 pounds, which is just, I was like a walking skeleton and I had no idea. And I was being rewarded because as a model, especially back more in that time, now it's gotten a lot better. They were like, oh my gosh, you look perfect. You're going to book every job. And I was. So I thought I was doing something right. until my parents saw me at Christmas, broke down in tears and said, "Oh my gosh, we need to get you help." Because everyone around me, my agents, my friends at the time, they were all yes men, like the people who were just like, "Yeah, you're doing great. Yeah, you're booking jobs. Yeah." But no one was going, "Hey, are you okay?" And the first person that did that were my parents, because they were like, "What?" It wasn't okay. It was like, "What happened?" And they really got me through that super tough time. And something that my dad did growing up, he has a testimony that you can find on YouTube. He's a pastor now, becoming like Rico Suave to a man of God, is that he always shared his story. He was never ashamed of his scars and what he went through. And even if it wasn't, what people wanted to hear, like he just wore his heart on his sleeve. And I think, that he instilled that in me, to where when I was recovering, I was very open about it. I wanted to talk about it because I was like, I had no one to talk to that entire time while I was sick. And now I have this opportunity to talk about it, and talking about it helped me heal. And that's also when my mom was like, I think pageants, going back into them, you have a purpose now. And that kind of just all came together. And I eventually ended up healing to my best ability. I will never say I'm fully healed, because, that's a battle that you have to choose to deal with every day, and, how you view it. But I got better, and I gained some weight, and I became healthy again. And that's when I was like, I got to use this. I got to use this story to inspire and instill positive, like this body positivity in young women, because I had the craziest body dysmorphia that you could ever imagine. And I still have it sometimes, and I have to shake myself out of it and go, no, 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 no. Your worth is not based off of what you look like in the mirror. Your worth is not based off a number on a scale. It is your heart and the light that you provide to the world. So it's been a long journey, but I'm so grateful that it did happen, because it's made me who I am today. I think one thing that people need to hear, every single person, whether you're my audience, you're new here, you're old, you've been around, something that I live by, truthfully, especially in the day and age we live in: comparison is the thief of joy. That is just something that is tattooed in my brain every day that I wake up, and I want to scroll through my phone and go, gosh, I wish I looked like that. Gosh, I wish I worked like that. Oh my gosh, imagine living that life. I always realize, Instagram it's a filter on people's lives. It's not always the real thing. And you have to take a step back and work on yourself, and realize your own worth and your own strengths and your own positive things. And the more self-work that you do, will help diminish all of those negative thoughts. And there's just a few things that I do in my daily schedule. I sleep with my phone outside of my room. I put it out at like 7:30. I go, all right, I'm checked out. I don't want to look at social media anymore. I don't want to, I don't follow people who make me feel a certain way, make me question myself. And that's not any offense to them. It's just what you see is what you're feeding your mind. So I always make sure I really do limit the social media intake. I wake up, I read my Bible. Whoever you believe in, whatever you do, work on that self, whether it's just any self-help book. Always try to grow within, because that just gives you that armor throughout the day to be able to battle, everything else. So, that's just the tip that I would give. Honestly, just know your self-worth, know you're worth it, you're beautiful, and you deserve everything that you set your mind to. I am newly engaged. I met my fiance in Australia. I was there modeling, and I met him on my second day there. And when I met that man, not only did his looks just make my heart flutter, but his heart trumped all. He owns a nonprofit for suicide prevention. So he is an amazing man. Uses his story as well. We're very common in that, uses his pain. He lost his best friend back in 2013 and dedicated his entire career to Live In, which is this organization. They sell merch and raise awareness around suicide prevention. Once I saw his heart, I was like, oh, I'm going to marry you. Like I just knew it in my head. And I was like, this is happening. And 2.5 years later, we were in Mexico in April, and he popped the question, and yeah, happy wifey lifey almost, but. Unfortunately, no, because if you have heard, Australia with COVID is a whole different ball game. don't allow anyone into their country right now, nor did they allow their people to leave. So I can't really plan a date because the worst thing I could do is set a date and then be like, half of his family could not even come. So we're just waiting it out. We're going to wait until these restrictions and walls slowly go down and he can be reunited with his family, and then we'll figure it out. He hasn't seen his family in like 2 years because of COVID. So it's been really, really tough for him. So we're just waiting it out. I'm in no rush. I'm 25. I think for him, he's like, I'm 33 years old. I need to get married. I'm like, well, I need your family there. So we're going to have to figure it out. But yeah, just the waiting game. It's okay though. I'm really not in any crazy rush. That sounds stressful. I have enough stress. Singing has always been another outlet for me with my voice. I started singing worship when I was about 12 years old. And then I started singing it in my church in Los Angeles, which is like a huge congregation. And that really just gave me the confidence to go up there and be on stage and not even be fazed by it. Because I think singing worship music is so different because you're not singing for a crowd. It's not a talent show. You're singing to God and you're having your moment. And that's kind of your way of prayer. And it just became such a passion for me. And as I'm getting older, I'm kind of starting to go, okay, like this is something I definitely want to pursue more. And there are some exciting projects in the work that I can't talk about right now, but let's just say 2022, you're going to see a spicier, more Latina side of Nadia with her music. That's literally all I can say.
Okay, well, I'm excited for that. Oh my gosh.
It's good stuff. It's just the waiting game, pursuing anything during COVID has just been a pain in the arse. So, waiting it out.
So on that topic, are there any other projects that you're working on right now that you're able to talk about?
Well, not necessarily. Like that has been my main focus for sure. As far as modeling goes, we grow in that every single day. Jules, as you had mentioned before, she's an amazing agent. We're always finding ways to kind of change with, this modeling path because it's changed so much over the years. So much of it is like influencer based now. So figuring out the right partnerships, kind of who I want to be as, in my career. So that's kind of a cool growing moment, but really just have my eyes on the prize of music, wedding planning, no babies anytime soon, like hopefully. Hopefully, but like not right now. And yeah, that's honestly really it. And just keep spreading light and being love to people. I'll give you like a good work day. I'll give you a good modeling work day. This is like 4 days out of the week, which, very blessed to have. I wake up at like 5:45. I'm like an early bird. My inner clock is like, hello, hi, we're doing this. I say my call time is like 8:30 a.m. So I wake up. I do not immediately go check my phone. Usually I read my Bible, me and Sam, my fiance, we do the 1 year Bible together. It's taken us a lot longer than 1 year, but we're trying. This is our good effort. We'll go to a workout class or the gym. I really like to get in a workout before a days of work because I'm on my feet for 9 hours. But like if I go into work and I hadn't moved my body, I'm so stiff. And as a model, you want to be loose and flowy. So I find that really helps me, and endorphins make everyone happy. Then I come home, I go straight to set. Every set is different. One of my main clients is Guess, and they are an amazing brand that I love to work for. The team there is like family to me. Hair and makeup done, have a good lunch, and just constant shooting, whatever we're shooting that day. I get home and I just try to unwind. That's when I try to decompress. I feel like I'm on all day because I'm just like, when I go on set, I never want the set to be boring. So I'm very like vivacious and loud. And by the time I get home, I'm like, I just need to like breathe. So I'll just shower, make dinner. I love to cook. That is like a huge passion of mine that before modeling, I wanted to go to culinary school. So like, that's how much like I fully loved cooking and still do. One day it'll happen. So I cook and then we'll just watch a movie. My fiance is a movie buff and I have to go through these lists of movies with him just because that's like my compromise in this freaking relationship where I'm like, I don't want anything I know this sounds dumb, but anything like before 2000, I find very hard to watch on screen. I know that sounds so just like, oh, you're not artsy, but I just can't. And he loves to pull up like a 1960s movie where I'm just like, why is this in black and white? And I'm so bored. But that's my way of decompressing. And then I zonk at like 9:45 because grandma life. Well, my movies have always been the same. Like my top 3, like 10 Things I Hate About You. Like Heath Ledger, oh my gosh, rest in peace, you beautiful human. It's why I ended up with an Australian. Like that man made me fall in love with these people. I love The Help. The Help is also top 10. And honestly, okay, those are my top 2 movies that I'll give for now. Okay, and then skincare. I'm a big Ole Henriksen person. I love their products. Vitamin C. I once I find something I like I don't like to play with skincare because I'm like, once I get in routine and it's not making me break out, like I'm staying to that. So big Ole Henriksen fan. Once a week, I'll do the Drunk Elephant baby facial mask, and it is like resurfaced. It is the coolest thing ever. I'm like, especially with so many different makeup brushes being put on my face, I'm like, I need to cleanse and slough off the dead skin. And that's definitely a go-to of mine. What else? Hair care. I'm an Oribe. How do I even say it? Orbe Biatch? Like, ooh, that's right. I am so not like good beauty blogger. I'm terrible. I'm like makeup wise. I love like Giorgio Armani. They have like this dewy skin tint that I'm all about because I don't really like wearing like super heavy foundation. And perfume wise, I'll always be a Santal 33 Le Labo girl. But there, ta-da. You can find me Nadia_Mejia, NADIA_MEJIA on Instagram. On Twitter, I'm Nadia Grace Mejia. Not that I really use it unless I'm, complaining to American Airlines. That's so terrible. And oh gosh, I'm trying on TikTok. I'm here with one of my good friends, and she's 18, and she's trying to teach me to be young and cute. And like, I'm giving it a shot, but like, I think I'm too old for TikTok. But those are where you can find me. Go to Instagram. It's safer. It's where I thrive.
Thank you for watching. Head to sarahscoop.com for more of the scoop on your favorite things.